Yeah, they'll stop. They yell for like 20 minutes, and then it's like they get all their anger out in 20 minutes, and then poof. It's a tough scene. Like my hallway is like a football field. Oh, I clicked record. I'm not gonna stop it. Whatever. Congrats. You learned a little bit about the backstory. Anyways, episode 15 of Boston's Big Three, presented by Ride the Wave Media, sponsored by 10100. 10100, in case you haven't heard of them, they are the only online raffle website giving fans and experience seekers the chance to win tickets to sporting events, concerts, music festivals, and more. More, you might ask, how about the Pats Giants Thursday night football primetime game? Not this week, because we are going to pound sand with the Redskins. Terrible team. So skip that, and then you go to the Giants game. We have $9 entry fee for standard tickets. You have a chance to win quite possibly better tickets, from my understanding, through 10100 on their website. More details will be released on the Ride the Wave Media or the Spike King Instagram pages. Stay tuned for that. Might as well just go throw your name in a legitimate hat for 10100, whether it be from your desktop or mobile device. Winning tickets to your favorite event has never been so easy and fun. Choose your desired event, purchase a raffle ticket into the draw, and you can be the lucky winner. And if you're not the lucky winner and you're still watching the Pats Giants game, keep your eyes peeled during the commercial break. That's all I'm going to say. But also, one more thing. If you're listening to this right now, you've only listened on YouTube. As of this episode, hopefully next week, depending when Apple gets back to us, we will be on Apple Podcasts. Hopefully Spotify. Spotify chooses you. You can't choose Spotify. So if we get the listeners up there, we have fans listening to us. If you screenshot you listening to us, we're going to repost it. We'll tag you. We'll shout you out. We'll say, go follow this guy. Without like how Babs always says, 10 people who always listen to us. We want to make 10 to 15 to 30 to 100 to 200. And then, I don't know, it's probably going to fire some people.
We should have been on Apple Podcasts a long time.
Hold on. You told me no. Don't focus on this. I'm like, all right, because I just want a show. I'm like, all right, cool, I can get you a show. And then Google Hangouts goes out the window. I'm like, all right, I can get us on Apple. He goes, don't get us on Apple. I wanted to get the promos. So all my focus on the promos, and you just didn't bring it up. So I'm like, I'm not going to ask him. Like, whatever. And then yesterday, like, why hasn't this been on Apple yet? I'm like, because you specifically told me multiple times, don't put this on Apple.
But whatever. Listen, we should be on Apple. You know, yeah, I see the Sox and 4. They're still on Apple. They've been doing their thing.
Put them on Apple.
I definitely gave you money to do something, and I feel like nothing's been happening for it. So I don't know what it was.
You gave money to talk with me and Wes. We didn't spend any money. It was the we were gonna make that one big channel, and then Wes took a step back, and then you said focus on just putting this, because Wes took a step back when we first got into Skype. I barely knew what I was doing with Skype.
Just get this on Apple. Okay?
Yeah, this one's going to be on Apple. And trust me, if you're on YouTube right now, stop it. Listen on Apple. Because Babs doesn't want to be looked at, I guess. He just gets a face for radio, I guess.
I'm sure that our Apple, nice joke. I'm sure that Apple won't sound that great because these microphones aren't going to be great and whatever. I don't care. Just get us on there.
Speaking of podcasts, Babs, you were just on Part-Time Friends podcast. We'll plug them real quick.
I want to say this. Part-Time Friends podcast. Anybody out there, I love doing other podcasts. I tell anybody, the 10 listeners that watch us here every single week and some of our staff members, if you're invited on a podcast, go out there. Just try things out. That's cool to go do that. So Part-Time Friends podcast, shout out to Killer Kev. He made that happen. We set it up. We had a great time on there. Got to talk about Ride the Wave. Very open about everything. What did you guys think? You both listened to it at all?
I listened to it the day it came out. And by the way, we had 30 people listen last time. So no, it was pretty good. It was kind of like a behind the scenes look. I feel it was just like phone calls you'd have with me, except it was like recorded. So I'm like, oh, I know. And then,
I didn't get a chance to listen to it. I was too busy recording Sox and 4 with Dan.
Free pass right there. That's okay. That's okay because you've been carrying Sox and 4. But two major things. Number one, main focus, there's only one employee in Ride the Wave Media. Everyone needs to remember that. There's one employee, that's it. And number two, the Caden thing. The Caden thing was kind of funny because off the camera, off of whatever we were recording, they talked about Caden, like, who's that little kid and this and that. And they're like, oh, we love him so much and screw those bullies online. And when they mentioned it, they were going to cut it out. They're going like this. They're like, cut it. We're not going to do it. I'm like, just talk about it. And you know what? Caden loved it. Caden's a G, man. And you guess what? Announcement, they're going to be bringing Caden on a podcast in the future. So I cannot wait for that.
Speaking of G's, we are losing GRD for the billionth week in a row. Babs, I think you said you had a statement about this.
GRD, if you're listening out there, which you probably won't, I know
no
you
shot.
don't. You don't care about this. 0%. But GRD, if you want to make yourself back on the Boston's big three, you've been relegated. You're down. You have to prove yourself to come back on here because you haven't showed any consistency. Anytime you come on here, you have the crappiest Wi-Fi and you give no opinions whatsoever. So GRD, if you want to come back on the Boston's big three, you have to do one episode with the Boston Power Hour. And after you do that episode with Boston Power Hour and we see that you're able to do a podcast, we'll bring you back on here. Other than that, Brandon Watabe, right? Did I say it right?
Yeah.
There we go.
Oh, yeah.
Has officially replaced Green Runs Deep on the Boston Big Three. Welcome as the call-up. You're officially part of the Big Three.
Glad to make it to the big leagues, boys.
Especially with the
to be fair, GRD, he's at, I think, the Garden filming a man on the street type video. I think Stafford Edits, our guy, is going to be editing that for him. Keep your eyes peeled for that.
I'll believe it when I see it.
Yeah, man. I mean, he called me today. He's like, "Can you edit me a video?" I'm like, "Do you know who is a better editor than me?" Stafford Edits. All right, let's hop into the show. Let's kick off with the trip to Bills Mafia. See, I really wish GRD was here, man, because I wish I could get both sides of the Bills Mafia story, but, he'll come back home one day from the store.
Yeah, Bills Mafia. So, little shout-out right here. Look, I got my little Buffalo Bills can right here as well, too, my Buffalo Bills Bud Latte. Listen, Bills Mafia isn't what it used to be. Bills Mafia used to be that wild, crazy fan base up in Buffalo maybe 5 or 6 years ago. And things have 100% changed. So a couple little quick takes because I can rant forever. We go in there with our vests. We had a fun time. Bills Mafia saw that. They poked fun at us. You see us out here. We're high. We bring things at 100 miles an hour, right? But when you make fun of us and you're like, "Oh, nice vest, clowns, blah, blah, blah," like, "Yeah, this could hold the dildos." And you're like, "Yeah, I'm protecting myself." They start laughing. It's football at the end of the day. We met a couple people up there. We hung out at their tailgate. We're at the Pinto tailgate. They were great to us. One thing is I have the vest that's over there, but we got a Poncho Billa little patch we put on our vest. So Bills Mafia liked that as well, too. The Pinto tailgate was awesome. It was just great to see that in person. You had ESPN over there. You had Portnoy with Barstool over there as well. Got to see the ketchup and mustard and Pinto Ron up close. And that stadium inside was loud. That was a playoff game. The loudness reminded me of what it was like the AFC title game last year. It reminded me in person of the Ravens game in 2014, how loud Gillette Stadium was. It's loud. It's exciting. I will say this. New Era Field, shitty stadium. Concourses are small. Bathroom lines are long. All conjumbled. I said to one of the fans out there about the stadium, because stadiums only have a 20-year shelf life. That stadium was built about in the 70s. He said that the NFL has been pressuring the Buffalo Bills to build a new stadium, and they want it downtown. Now, in the state of New York, bars are open till 4 a.m., which will be great for tourism if fans travel into Buffalo. But all the fans are fighting against it because Orchard Park, that area, will lose that luster of Bills Mafia, the tailgating on the lawns and the Pinto Ron tailgates and all that. But the NFL sees the underage drinking, the excessive drinking, the tables, people getting hurt. They don't want that. That's why they're pressuring the Bills. So that's actually something in the next 5 years to keep in the back of your mind when we talk about the Buffalo Bills. Other than that, we'll get into the game and eventually, but it was awesome to see Prez. Little shout out to Ride the Wave. Corey got a little film of him. He shared it. Got us a little credibility right there for Ride the Wave. It was awesome going up there because people came up to me, T-Guns and GRD, and said, "Hey, what's up? Great to see you guys up here and this and that." And at the end of the day, Pats walked out with the victory. That's what matters the most. Even though they should have lost that game, they walked out with a W.
Yeah, I mean, it was an ugly game. We can definitely say that. It definitely was not their best game. Game that almost was lost because of a field goal. And but we did lose our field goal kicker, Steven Gostkowski, on the IR. We can talk more about the game. Let's kick off with perhaps the biggest news in Pats this week. There's nothing really prepping for the Redskins. Who cares about that? Gostkowski gone, hip replacement likely, I guess. So I'm seeing all over Twitter. And
you're getting his hip replaced?
That's what I'm seeing everywhere.
Yeah.
Nothing's confirmed, but it's all sources. My inside sources.
Man,
so that's what it's looking like. That kind of gives him an excuse because he stunk at kicking. But then why didn't you tell him before the year when they're like, hey, my hip is not in the same spot it should be?
They just, I don't believe in the injury thing. I still don't, and I'm sure it's gonna happen. I just felt like his age is really creeping up on him. He's 35, 36, 37, wherever he is, and he's just not accurate anymore. If his hip was really hurting, he would have said something at the beginning of the year and saying, like, I'm not going to be able to do this. I really believe that he was trying to hang on for one more season to win a Super Bowl and then retire. And they're already saying that he's going to come back for the 2020 season. I think that's crazy. I think that when he comes back next year, he's still going to be missing those extra points and field goals. He should just retire. I think it's over for him. But Bill probably kept him around and said, okay, it hasn't bothered us yet. It hasn't bothered us yet. But when you're missing an extra point or a field goal every single game in a row, Bill's losing his patience. That's it. Now, they already tried out they have two guys that they're looking at, Nugent and Fairbath or whatever his name is. They're going to probably end up getting one of those guys. I always thought that, hey, Jake Bailey's a kicker too. And Ryan
Why
Allen.
not? That'd be pretty cool.
Ryan Allen's still a free agent. No one's picked him up yet. So he could just come right back in, be the punter. Jake Bailey could be the kicker. But no matter what, and I looked at it this way, and you could tell by this team, we don't need a kicker that kicks 50-yard field goals. We don't need a Greg the Leg. We don't need a Jake Elliott. We just need someone that's accurate within 30 to 40 yards because you have to trust this defense. And just looking at this game in general, that Pats defense is the real deal. Yes.
Right. Dude, I have something I heard, dude. I saw people saying the Bills defense was better than the Pats defense, despite the numbers you pick up, because it's like you could pick off Josh Allen any day of the week. Who cares? The Patriots could not move that football after the first quarter. The second quarter, they had a little pavement, and then it's like they consistently shut down Edelman, Gordon, Brady. That offensive line stinks. Like, went right through it. No run game because of that offensive line.
So it's different when you're at the game and then you watch the game afterwards. I end up watching the game, the condensed NFL Game Pass right there, little condensed version.
Better be doing that.
The Pats were in control of that game the entire time. If Brady was not picked off in that end zone, they would have been up 20-3 at that point, and the game would have been over. And the Bills lose that momentum. What gives the Bills that momentum in the game was the crowd. The crowd was into it the entire time. I also think that Edelman dropped a couple passes that were right in his hands. Philip Dorsett missed a pass. Brady was off himself too. Little overthrows, and he got pressured a couple times. That O-line has having troubles.
Stinks.
But they're allowed to have one bad game. Where is everyone starting to come out and saying, oh, the Pats O-line doesn't look good. The offense doesn't look good. Did you not just watch last week's game when they tore up the Jets? Did you not watch the week before that where they were down in Miami? Look at them. Brady going into that game had 7 touchdowns and 0 interceptions. They look fine going into all those other games. They had one bad game. It's week 4, and T-Guns was even saying this. That's a perfect win because you should have lost, but it gives the Patriots something to go into next week and the week after that and saying, this is the things that we need to work on. Their defense, no matter what, is top-notch. And what did you say? The pressure on Josh Allen. Josh Allen does not throw the ball away. He doesn't throw it out of bounds. He just chucks it up. And like you said, Tyler, last week, that was a game for the secondary. 4 interceptions. 4 interceptions for the secondary like that.
Can we talk about how Jamie Collins has a serious candidate for being Defensive Player of the Year already? He is, I think.
I don't know his sacks. On an MVP list right behind Tom Brady, as of right now.
I wrote like 6 blogs over the weekend. I wrote like the last 6 blogs on the Ride the Wave Media thing that I think you broke up my streak, Brandon.
Dang.
I just wanted to see how far I could go before someone else contributed. Also, while I'm on this, if I'm being told I can't write something by someone who doesn't write since June, I'm going to be writing. So I don't care. Anyways, Jamie Collins is an absolute stud. I don't have the stats right in front of me, but I think he has three interceptions, I think 6 sacks and 23 tackles. And I could be wrong, but it's generally around that area. He didn't break the rule of the field goal line. He was on all fours, simply jumped over a grown man, a grown offensive lineman, not even a man, a 6'5", 300-pound, just massive specimen
insane.
With ease. He didn't block it, but it was the most athletic thing. Like, we traded him to Cleveland for nothing. He didn't even get traded back. We just signed him later. We're just like, all right, dude, we got a 4th-round pick and Jamie Collins back. Stunk in Cleveland. His value went right through the roof, and we're paying him minimum wage to be Defensive Player of the Year candidate early in the season.
What's been great is this. there's been a lot of offensive injuries for the Patriots. And again, I just thought in my head too. The Pats had a nice play to Gordon. Gordon got all the way down to like the 5-yard line, and they couldn't punch it in, which was just crazy. I think they should have ran it. I think on second down they threw it. They should have just kept trying to grind it in there. But as long as there's no injuries to this defense, and I said this, I believe, we had a 7-hour drive over to Buffalo, and I was just ranting the entire time. I said this Pats offense could score 17 points a game, and they would still win these games. They would still win these games, and it just showed you right there. It showed you right there in Buffalo. J.C. Jackson, shout out to him too. 2 interceptions and the block punt. And I said this to you. Jackson plays the ball more than he plays the man. But on that second interception, he played the ball on that one, and he manned that one out and got that interception. And
I mean, did you rewatch it? They made a huge deal. Like, oh, I think it was out of bounds. I don't think that was a pick, to be honest. But I'll take it for the stats. Who cares? It was kind of very obvious. It's like when you come down with the ball and you like step out of bounds, like incomplete pass because this guy's standing out of bounds. That's exactly what happened.
That makes up for Gilmore's play the week before that where they didn't call it an interception. And it was all right. So it makes up right there. Let's talk about the Josh Allen hit because everyone's going nuts about that. Bills Mafia is so upset. And you know what? Here's the thing. If that didn't happen, Josh Allen would still lose you the game. Josh Allen wasn't playing that good at all. His QBR was 0. Like, he was terrible that game. So don't say that he would have won you the game 2 minutes to go down there. You know what? Josh Allen screwed you by you guys had 2 challenges that cost you 2 timeouts in the second half, and Josh Allen called a timeout in the fourth quarter with 14 minutes to go. So they were terrible at the game management right there. Josh Allen did this multiple times in the game where he was rushing and doesn't slide. He's just going in with his body. That Jonathan Jones play was a bang-bang classic play. And if you actually look at it in slow motion, he was kind of leaning in with his shoulder. Mm-hmm. That's what he was doing. And if you can call the Patriots cheaters, you can say that they deflate footballs, you can say whatever you want, but the Patriots are not headhunters. They've never been known to go after players deliberately.
Brandon Merriweather. Merriweather.
It's a different story.
It was a dirty play. No. Oh, what I had.
I don't think it was
a legal hit, dirty play.
Legal hit. He was going in for a slide and lowered his shoulder like he expected to get hit and ended up getting hit. That's exactly what you would expect in that situation.
You could see genuine sadness, remorse, disappointment in Jonathan Jones in the post-game stuff too. And also, Bills Mafia. You guys are gonna be, we're Bills Mafia. We throw each other through tables and we jump off the stupidest stuff. And you are gonna complain over a bang call to the head of a quarterback when in 2001 or something like that video of Brady's head getting launched out of the stadium from that guy on the Bills, and everybody's like, "Oh, clean hit. That's just how you play football." Go kick rocks. I hate you. And you can't have this persona and then just turn it on you if you're gonna. Just the narrative's against you now. If this was Tom Brady, he would be fined, kicked out of the league, and arrested. Yeah, no, that's just not the case at all, you morons.
It was crazy though that Barkley came in and they got right down the field, and it was just like, oh my god. But hey, again to the defense. Shout out to the Pats defense. There's been multiple times that the Bills were getting into the territory and they held them back. Goal line stands, and that's what the Pats defense needed. They needed a game like that, a really close game to win 16-10. And after the game was over, again with Bills Mafia, they're coming out, but they're holding their head up high because they weren't blown out by the Patriots. And they were like, we're going to Tennessee next weekend. If they beat Tennessee Titans, it's not an easy game at all. And I'm actually jealous they're going down to Tennessee because that's going to be a fun weekend for them. Nashville's a fun place. But if the Bills can win in Tennessee, because the Titans are a very good team this year. They've been good. Mariota stinks, but they've been like a good team this year. I believe in the Bills will be in a wild card playoff team.
Sticking with the Pats, rumors galore of Stephon Diggs coming to the Pats. Our actually editor of this, Stafford Edits, I think it's Joe Stafford. He hit up the group chat saying, I have a source saying Diggs to the Pats, and we're like, we're not running with it. No. He's like, my guy, he makes up a lot of stuff, but he's right sometimes. That's just the least confident thing I've ever heard in my life. I'm like, no, let's not run with this. If we were right, if that was right, then whoops, we missed it. Who cares? But if it was wrong, then
cool.
Good thing we didnn't do it. Do we want to see him on the Pats knowing what we probably have to give up, knowing all the players we probably have to cut that we just picked up?
No way in hell. No way. that Stephon Diggs finds himself wearing navy blue or road whites in the next anytime. This is not happening. I don't know where the story came from.
Ticket and
yeah,
easy to wear in the fans.
It's just one of those overreaction things where you see anytime someone tweets one thing, guy's got 12 followers on Twitter, says, "Hey, my guys are telling me he's coming. It's happening." He requested
the voices in your head, dude.
Yeah. Literally anytime anyone requests a trade, anyone like top notch, top shelf in the league gets cut, everyone's like, look at New England. He's going to go to New England. The only time it's happened is really Antonio Brown. And that's
still
like the exception.
Jalen Ramsey to come.
Honestly.
That's what I was told by everybody. Oh, Jalen Ramsey is going to be on the Pats next week. I'm like, all right.
It's all noise until Schefter tweets it.
I'm not going to deny that Diggs will not come to New England. Anything is possible at the end of the day. I just don't see it happening. I mean, I love that the way we live in the internet world is that Diggs follows Brady and Edelman and James White, and then everyone sees that and they go nuts. But I mean, they're some of the top players in the league. This happened with Patrick Peterson in the offseason. He was requesting a trade off of Arizona, and he followed Brady and Edelman and did all that, and they were starting to message each other. And I bet they're talking with each other, and they just like to do that because people are talking about it. From what the Rune Dog report, he was saying that the $4 million that Diggs would be owed this season can be covered with some restructions and this and that and whatever happens. I mean, I feel that Brady does want another weapon out here on the field. They should be focusing more. If you're telling me, Babs, what's the one piece that you want right now? Anybody in the league, anybody you can get right now?
I have my answer.
Trent Williams. I want.
Mine's Ben Watson. Mine's Ben Watson because he's coming back to the Pats.
He is
this week as probably an offensive lineman mostly.
Yeah, but that's fine. But that's why I want Trent Williams, because I want another O-line piece. You need that O-line piece, especially what you just saw in this past game. That's what their focus should be on. It shouldn't just be on another wide receiver. They have plenty of good receivers on that team. They're going to be fine with that. And maybe N'Keal Harry comes off of IR week 9 or whatever. We'll see. Week 8, whatever. We'll see what happens. But I still feel they'll make a move. I'm going the opposite way. I'm saying Dez Bryant. Throw up the X.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind Dez simply because Dez Bryant had the single greatest touchdown dance of all time, and he would just be like that. I could rock with that simply for the X.
And you hear this guy? He's saying Dez Bryant to the Patriots.
Dez Bryant, 1 year.
I'll take that any day of the week.
1 year, $1.25 million is what he signed with the Saints. Now, someone came to me and said, well, he still has to finish out his contract with the Saints. I don't believe that. I'm pretty sure he's a free agent going into this year. 1 year, $1.25 million. The Pats have cap space for that. Get a big body receiver like him, put him out in the red zone. Going into last year, since 2013, the top 2 guys in the red zone for touchdowns was Dez Bryant and Rob Gronkowski. I want Dez Bryant out there because when you're going down the field against the Buffalo Bills and they got picked off, you have Dez Bryant there, that's someone you need to cover and have 2 guys on him and spread out that field. I want Dez Bryant. He said he's coming back too. So we'll see what happens. Also, by the way, just talking about the game, another thought in my head. That game made you want Gronkowski back. That was a game you needed Gronk in there because on those third downs, he would bail you out. Not even just bail you out on the third downs catching the ball because he always kills the Bills, but someone that you'd have that extra blocking for a little extra time for Brady to make those throws too. That was a Rob Gronkowski game, and that showed that we miss him there. And like you said, Ben Watson's coming back next week. He's going to be a blocker. Great thing he took some roids on the offseason and get himself back healthy again. Feel like a 25-year-old on the field. But
how old is he really? Like 30?
38. 38.
38 years old? Why are you still playing football, you idiot? God, he's not going to know his
New England Patriots, bro.
Back to what you're saying about Dez Bryant. I understand, we might want to add another weapon, another tool, special guy, special player on the field, someone that whose name is easily recognizable. But I don't think that the Patriots are willing to gamble again on another wide receiver. You saw what they did with Antonio Brown. They don't need another weapon at this moment. But I think if they were to do it, it'd be another one of those win-win situations where this guy he's coming off an injury. The Saints took a chance on him. They didn't even have to. You don't even have to call it that big of a chance because you know what he did in Dallas. But he ends up going to New Orleans, tears his Achilles. Now coming back from that injury, you don't know what he's going to be able to do anymore. You don't know if he's going to be that same red zone factor that he used to be. But I just don't see the Patriots making that move because I think you would see that they're desperate for another tool at that wide receiver position, and that would spread across the league like wildfire.
Doesn't hurt to bring him in though and see what
Doesn't
he has.
hurt.
Yeah,
Doesn't
no,
hurt
it's not.
to-
You're not
and
spending
it's
my money, dude. You're spending yours.
and people could say Des Bryant's a head case, and I mean Antonio Brown's way more of a head case than
we
Des
had
Bryant.
Ocho Cinco. We had
Yeah.
Albert Hainsworth. We had Randy Moss. We
And
had
Aaron Hernandez.
yeah. We had what's his name? Why am I blanking on it? Corey Dillon. Corey Dillon's a psychopath on the Bengals.
So there's been other talks too. Emmanuel Sanders has been floated around too. Denver is now 0-4. They just lost Jaguars. We'll see what ends up happening with Sanders. Maybe Sanders wants off that team. So
It might not
AJ
even
Green.
be his choice at that
AJ
point. They might be
Green.
selling at the deadline.
AJ Green. All right, let's dive into week 5 previews, and we'll recap a little bit because there is stories. We are a quarter of the way done with the season. Teams are starting to actually show their true colors now. This is Wednesday. Normally we record on Thursdays.
It's back for the preseason for the Pats. That was their first
Yeah.
regular season game. Now it's back to the preseason this week.
Do you want to recap last week's picks real quick?
Oh yeah, you have do a
Yeah.
quick rundown.
All right, we crunched the numbers. So we got some winners, we got some losers. For the clean sweeps, all 3 of us picked the same teams to win or lose a game. So we all picked the Chiefs to win. We got clean sweep across the board there. We all picked the Ravens to win, and they lost big to the Cleveland Browns.
Yeah.
We all picked the
Sorry
Pats to
about that.
win. We all picked who else? We all picked the Giants to win, and that one was really special for them. You see the magic that's going on up there. And then very last one, we all picked the Rams to win. And that did not happen by
got crushed.
big time. But at the end of the day, Tyler, 8-7.
There we go.
Babs, 8-7.
Oh.
Me, 8-7.
Wow.
But I had to do some dig and find out who really won this week. You guys made some choices on the Chiefs-Lions game, and based on what you said, Tyler said it was going to be a score of less than a touchdown. Ended up being much less, right under a touchdown.
You
Come
look
from behind.
at that, dude. They almost even won. You're like, oh no way. Mahomes is playing inside. Oh, the Chargers are a West Coast team playing the Miami Dolphins. They're gonna lose to the Dolphins. They win 30.
Look at this guy gloating right now. You're gloating.
I will say, all right, you got the Raiders pick. Right.
He picked the Dolphins, the Bengals, and the Cardinals to win last week.
To be fair, I picked the tie for the.
Yeah,
for the,
you did pick a tie on the last one.
All right, so speaking of the
so
Rams, real quick, if you just want to hop in with that. Oh,
Tyler got yeah, you did get the tiebreaker because you chose the Chiefs winning by less than a touchdown, and Babs said that Patrick Mahomes would throw possibly 6 or 7 touchdowns, didn't throw one.
Who the fuck makes up the tiebreaker like that? Doesn't count. The tiebreaker goes to the home field advantage. That's me. It goes to me.
Neither of us go home. All right.
I crunched
So, why does it go off of that?
Because I was more confident in it. You did have the Raiders beaten.
Yeah, and I should get that one. I had the Raiders. I had an upset.
Real shame. Anyways, week 5 coming up. So we'll write these down, Brandon, so we can make it easy.
Yeah, I got my
just
paper.
so we're gonna keep doing this every week because we have organization now.
Yeah, we are gonna do it every week because Brendan is our new 3rd guy as the Boston's Big 3 from here on out.
I need to adjust the logo and just make the worst Photoshop in his head. Poof, right
Put a
on.
Polaroid on there.
Just like a sticker.
Yeah.
All right, Rams Seahawks tomorrow night. Like we said, Rams, they lose, I think it was 55-40. Yeah, 55-40. They were closer to 100 than 0. Oh my God. The Bucks against the Bucks. Rams stink. Seahawks, they're at home. They're smoking them. They killed the Cardinals 27-10 last week. And if you think that a 55-point defense is going to do anything against Russell Wilson when they couldn't do anything against Jameis Winston, get out of here.
Rams are fraudulent. We said this last week. They barely beat the Browns, and the Browns killed themselves in that game the week prior to that. The Seahawks win this game. Seahawks take this. Rams are going to go 3-2 now on the season, and they're showing the true colors. But, hey, shout out to Jameis Winston. He's been balling out the last 2 games, even though they lost to the Giants before that. They have scored almost 100 points in the last 2 games.
And they should have won that game against New York.
He quite literally doesn't know how to get a 3rd target into the game.
No.
If you have Mike Evans or Penn State alum Chris Godwin, unbelievable picks. Because those are the only 2 people he knows how to throw the ball to. Anyways, we got Jets. Oh, wait. Brandon, what's your pick?
Oh, Seahawks. Seahawks by by a mile. You got home field. Also, fun fact on Thursday night games, Seahawks are 8-1 since 2010 on Thursday night.
Sabermetrics.
Look at that from the top rope right there.
Dude, you would have asked to quit by now. Jets Eagles at Philly. Big win from Philadelphia last week. They turned their season around. Instead of going 1-3, go 2-2, climb the NFC North ladder because Dallas loses. They got tied with the Giants. Jets have nothing to play for. They took a bye week. Maybe they kind of like.
Is Sam Darnold coming back this week?
I think he's still monoed.
Yeah.
I got Eagles by a lot. They're covering the spread.
Mm-hmm. I think you got to take Eagles here, especially if Sam Darnold's not playing. They lost a heartbreaker last week. I think that they still at home take the Eagles all the way.
Do you take the Eagles minus 13.5 in this game? Because that's what they're
that's the
favored
spread.
right now.
Yeah.
That's the spread. Would you take that? I say the Eagles win this game. Wow, I'm just looking at this, and it's like if they lose to the Jets, the Jets are, Jets. This would have to be a Le'Veon Bell. This would be 2 weeks. 2 weeks to prepare. Screw it. Because we're going to be doing these things, we're going to say who's got the better record. I'm going with the Jets in this game. Le'Veon Bell tears up the Eagles. Le'Veon Bell tears them up, and they squeak out with the victory.
I thought you meant in in history he teared up. I'm like, you don't know that.
No, I'm just
a lie.
Le'Veon Bell with a little extra rest against the Eagles, and Eagles go 2-3 on the season.
Jags Panthers. Gardner Minshew versus Kyle Allen. Boom, boom, boom. They're in Carolina. Both teams kind of really turned it around from the beginning of the year. Gardner Minshew is a real deal. I don't care what people say. He is just a good quarterback. But Kyle Allen, also a pretty decent quarterback for Carolina. They got back-to-back wins. This is not going to be a fun game to watch. It's going to be an ugly. If you like football, don't watch this one. But I think the Jags take it on the road.
What? No, this is an awesome game to watch. This is Kyle Allen and Minshew, dude.
Yeah, man. Like
two future of the NFL. Coming in.
Yeah, I'll be telling my kids about this one.
Shout out to LFG Sports. I'm going to give them a little credit here because I saw this video they posted, and some kid they interviewed said, "We don't want Big Dick Nick. We got Monster Dick Minshew." And I think Minshew goes into Carolina and wins this game. I'm taking the Jags.
Jags, too.
You took the Jags, Tyler? I got Kyle Allen and the Carolina Panthers winning at home against the fraudulent Gardner Minshew. He's nothing special. He's got a fun mustache, and that's about it.
And a 2-0 record.
They should have beat Houston.
If they're going to count that game when he came in halfway, then he's what? 2-1?
He should have beat Houston. They should have beat Houston. He won the next week, and then he led them down the field for a field goal to win against Denver. Minshew magic, baby.
I got Kyle Allen going off. Pick him up in fantasy. He lit up a weak Arizona defense a few weeks ago, but I think he's much better than Minshew, and I think he leads his team at home.
Real talk, is Cam Newton done? Is that it for his season? Is he coming back?
If Kyle Allen keeps up what he's currently doing, it's not a question.
I saw on the little ticker thing when you're watching Red Zone, it was like Cam Newton may take a step away from the season. I think he's just going to do the Andrew Luck thing before Andrew Luck got kind of forced out of the league.
Wow.
Vikings at Giants. Kirk Cousins might be the worst quarterback I've
that was poor.
Yes, he is horrendous, dude. Like, if you put Stevie Wonder up there, he's at least going to get a couple receptions, dude. Thielen hates him. Diggs hates him. Minnesota hates him. Probably his wife hates him, dude. Did you see that? Remember that gender reveal video he had? It was like 3 yard. He skipped it like a rock. There's no way I'm ever going to choose Kirk Cousins to win a game. I'm going Giants. Ride that Danny Dimes magic. And Saquon already back on the field working out today. Penn State alum back-to-back second mention.
I always go against the Vikings fraudulent Kirk Cousins. Don't believe in him at all. Hey, great for him because he's made his money. I think the Giants do take this game. I'm going to ride with Daniel Jones like that. I said this on a couple podcasts beforehand. I said that Daniel Jones was going to take over, and no one likes to listen to me. Barkley will not be back this week, though. They're going to save him for that Thursday night game because this is an important game for the Giants to get that victory, go 3-2, and head right into Foxborough on a Thursday night on a short week, which they'll also lose that game. But and they should. That's why they have to win this game. They have to win this one at home. So
the Giants are going to come extra motivated for the Thursday night game because they're coming off a loss to the Minnesota Vikings. Because Kirk Cousins is going to show what he's worth. I've been on him for the last few weeks. He hasn't done anything to prove me right. Kirk Cousins is going to take Daniel Jones's mantra. He's going to come into MetLife Stadium and show them who's boss, who's making millions of dollars, who's got a guaranteed contract. Kirk Cousins all the way on this game.
Kirk Cousins might not even have Stephon Diggs. He might not even have a target right there for that.
Hey, he got Diggs, he got Thielen. He'll find something. He'll make some magic.
No, that team's on their way out right now. They're not going to end up having
They're
it.
coming back. They're going to be 3-2 by next week.
Dude, my apartment is just a WWE ring. They called me because the entire bed fell over.
The Wednesday Night Wars tonight. AEW versus NXT. They're getting excited.
Oh, that's a thing?
That's a thing, yes. We'll talk about
I've only started.
We'll talk about it later. Let's keep going.
That's crazy. Falcons at Texans. Falcons also a bad team. I just taking Texans
some
out.
crappy matchups, yeah.
Not a fun week.
Oh, Falcons, Texans. Wow. The Falcons are just, again, so inconsistent. How are they 1-3? But
they're not good at the old pigskin round ball collision.
No, they're not. I'm taking the Falcons this game because you know what? I still think Houston's frauds. Like the Houston Texans are not a good.
You think Atlanta's not frauds?
They are too. It's
Both
a
these
fraud
teams.
versus fraud team.
Both these teams are playoff teams. And
I'm giving the Falcons the edge because it's a dome. That's all. I don't know.
A single good game all week. No, there's two towards the end. So, Brandon, who are you picking?
I'm gonna take the Houston Texans. Deshaun Watson. I picked him last week. I think they let me down last week, but they coming back. No, they won last week. We'll see.
They lost to the
Panthers. They lost.
Yeah.
But Texans will prove everyone right. I don't even know what else to say. They're both frauds. This is gonna be a crapshoot of a game.
I just think the Falcons need to keep themselves in contention in the NFC South. And this is the game. It's like a must-win for them. Their backs are against the walls. You can't start the season 1-4. They're done. If they go 1-4, they're done for the season. Yeah. And the Falcons are still a good team, kind of a good team. They should be a good team, but they're gonna keep themselves in it.
Yeah, Texans have a division to fight for. I think they can pull this one out.
Bucks Saints, big NFC South matchup. Call me crazy. I'm riding the Bucks train here. Saints did not look good. I mean, they got to win.
They got a team against a good
Teddy Bridgewater
good Cowboys team.
Yeah. You literally said in the show, Jameis Winston found a way to score 50 points last time, and they blew it against the Giants, found a way to score the ball. If this defense, they allowed up only 10 points. I'll give them that. The offense kicked 4 field goals. I think this is a legitimate case for the Bucs to win the NFC South this year. Atlanta stinks. Kyle Allen is the quarterback of the Panthers.
Go back. Did you just say the Bucs are going to win this division?
No. I said they can. I don't think they will. I think if they want to make the playoffs, this is the year to make a wild card. Everything in that division is going right for the Bucs. They're healthy. Everyone's clicking. They're putting up monster numbers. Taking the Bucs over the Saints.
Drew Brees is coming back in a few weeks. He's going to lead that team.
In a few weeks, not tomorrow or Sunday. Teddy Bridgewater has 1 touchdown in like 3 games.
Jameis Winston had 2 great games in a row, and this is the game that's going to show that they're truly the Bucs. They're not a good team at all. Mm-hmm. I said this last week. If the Saints beat the Cowboys, they're going to the Super Bowl. And they beat the Cowboys. Ugly win. It's still a win because the Cowboys were the most well-rounded team in the NFC, and they end up losing that game. I am riding the Saints in this game. 3 straight wins they're about to have without Drew Brees. Think about that. And then think about Brees coming back. And they're going to be 4-1 going into the following week without Brees. So this game, right now, New Orleans -3.
All right, hammer the Bucs spread, dude. They're gonna. All right, this is my lock of the week. They're winning by a touchdown. Bucs.
What? No,
100%.
No, it's gonna be the Saints
in the Superdome.
Yeah.
The Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
It'll be the mediocre dome when they leave.
Oh, you saw. Oh my god! You saw what they did against that Cowboys team. Hey, I was on camera too.
I don't know why that made me laugh. Oh god!
The Tampa Bay Buccaneers are gonna go into the Superdome and get shut down.
That was like a 5th grader response right to the mediocre dome.
Yeah. Oh my god! And you just like squirt on your whole face. Oh, if you watch that back, all right, that needs to be a video. I'm texting that kid now. At 39 minutes, Babs absolutely just Nickelodeon slimed himself.
My latte shower. That's 2 straight weeks.
That was so.
Because I'm just so rattled that you're going with the Bucks. Like it's just like you're right in Bucks mania in the mediocre dome. Like it's just like, come on, dude. They're gonna get destroyed.
The Saints won with 4 field goals against one of the best teams in the NFC last week.
Yeah.
They're not going to lose to the Buccaneers on their home field. Yeah,
they got adversity around them, man. You got to go with the Saints.
Yeah, that's my touchdown. We got Bills Titans. It's kind of a slugfest of a game.
That's going to be a great game.
It's like not marquee teams, but if you know like football, you're like following this season. You know, it's like 2 teams, similar play style, similar competition in the division. I'm going Bills. After seeing their defense, dude, I think they just have a solid defense. I said that in the blog. If you want to check that out, ridethewavmedia.com. I think the Bills to take the Titans. I don't think Marcus Mariota can beat this defense.
I think that the Titans are going to win by double digits. I think the Titans take this game at home. I don't like the Titans at all. They're not like my team, and this is not me trying to knock Bills Mafia at all. I just think that the Bills are coming off that tough game against New England that they felt that they should have won. And most likely they have to start Matt Barkley in this game. They're not going to have Josh Allen. That's what it looks like right now as we're talking in this podcast. And if they have Matt Barkley, if they have Matt Barkley in this game going down into Nashville, they're going to lose big time. And then they're going to take that and blame the Patriots for knocking out Josh Allen and all this and that, and the Bills go into a bye week. So, again, I'm taking the Titans double digits. I'm taking them double digits because that's going to be the tiebreaker.
The tiebreaker. I think I'll take the Titans as well. I don't think it's going to be as close a game as everyone thinks. I think maybe a touchdown game, not by double digits, but maybe Titans win by 1. You're coming in with a rattled Bills team that just lost, and at home Titans are at home. They got a great fan base down in Nashville. I think they can pull this one out.
Bills Mafia is going to have a great fun time. I did it last year down there with the Patriots. I had the best weekend, but those 60 minutes during the game ruins everything. It makes you want to forget about it. So Bills Mafia, enjoy Saturday night and then enjoy the tailgate on Sunday because after that, you're going to want to forget about the weekend.
And they're basically facing the Patriots back-to-back weeks because ex-Patriots are on the Titans. Yeah. So good luck. Cardinals at Cincinnati in probably the worst game you'll ever watch in your life. Kyler Murray, I'm giving them a dub because the Bengals stink out loud. They can go pound sand and just stop playing football.
Yeah, they're one of the worst teams. I said this. Me, you, and GRD had our season who we're gonna do what, and I said the Bengals. No GRD anymore. I said the Bengals were going to be the worst team in football, but Miami definitely takes the cake. Listen to this. Week 16. I think it's week 16 or week 17, one of those weeks. It's the Bengals versus the Dolphins. Both teams might be winless going into that game. And whoever loses that game gets the number 1 seed. Yeah. So actually people were saying on NFL.
That is going to be the most fun game to watch, actually.
Yeah. So
whoever loses wins and gets Tua.
They said that game should be flexed and should be a primetime game because I don't want to watch that game. And that's what it looks like. The Bengals are going to lose this game. Cardinals will take it. Finally, Kyle Murray gets his first win as an NFL starter. Bengals, you stink out loud. They keep stinking because I might want to go to Cincinnati for a game this season, and tickets will be so cheap.
Yeah, I think the Cardinals pull this one out. I think Kyler Murray shows up onto the NFL stage finally and gets some highlight plays. I think he shows everyone what he's capable to do under that new experimental college offense they got running in Arizona. I think they're going to bring it to Cincinnati, and I think Kyler's going to ball out this week.
Pats at Redskins. We'll probably
Don't even talk about it. The game's over. Don't even talk about it. Patriots, all 3 of us agree on the Patriots. This is literally a preseason game. Shout out to Dito. He's going to be going down there, get a little coverage for us. Ask me, Babs, you're going down to the Redskins game? No, that stadium stinks. The fans stink. Your team stinks. I'm not even wasting my time. I will sit my ass on my own couch and watch Red Week. I don't even care about fantasy football that much. I am undefeated in 2 leagues. Humble brag.
I don't care, but I'm undefeated. I just let my
But
sick brag, bro.
This game means nothing. This is a good game for the Patriots to rebound off that W. What? Rebound off a W? Well, it should have been a loss. They rebound. They look good. Great padding the stats game for the defense coming up.
Ravens at Pittsburgh. I think Ravens, they just get blown up by Cleveland. Think they have a little comeback in them and just blow the Steelers out of the water.
Yeah, the Steelers that Monday night game, it means nothing. Yeah, you guys won big, but it means absolutely nothing. Ravens need this win big time. They're tied now with the Browns in the head of the division. Take the Ravens. Ravens are favored 3.5. Take them.
I think I'm going to take the Ravens as well here, get back in the fight for the division. I think this division race will be very interesting coming down the stretch. I don't think the Steelers will have it in them to come back at all. I think they'll make it close around week 10, week 11, make a run, make it look like they have a chance to get back in contention for maybe a wild card or the AFC North division. I think the Ravens and Browns are going to have it out until the very last game of the season to figure out who wins that division.
Got Bears at Oakland. I have a feeling I know where Babs going with this one, so I'm picking
Don't
Chicago.
skip it over this week. Don't skip it, because last week you were like, let's skip over this. The Colts are going to win. You're like, who cares? Let's move it on. And I said, no, Oakland's going to win that game. It was a must-win for Oakland, okay? Now, hear me out here. I picked Oakland to go to the AFC title game, and I got to stick with them. You got to stick with your pick.
You don't have to.
Unless you get a tattoo of it, which nobody would do.
My guy, Dan Jolly, big Raiders fan that I know, my friend over here, big Raiders fan, right? I talked to him this week. I said, hey, good win. He said to me, the Raiders are done this season. I said, what? A Raiders fan is saying that they're done this season. The Raiders, hot take, will win by double digits this game. Wow, Babs, wait a minute. What's going on here? They're playing against the best defense of the league. Yes.
Isn't this game in London?
Listen, yes. Let me finish. This game is in London. The Oakland Raiders go to London every single year. This is like a home game for them over there. The Bears are not used to traveling. I'm saying this. The Raiders catch the Bears on an off day. Trubisky's out. Trubisky's not going to be in this game. So this is a great game for the Raiders defense to try to come together and make a W here. I think that Khalil Mack has some bad fish and chips the night before, has a little stomach poisoning, doesn't feel good, has the shits, and they shit the bed. I'm saying that the Bears, you lose by 10 points, over 10 points.
Bears win.
Wow.
I got Bears. Hammer the Bears. Go Bears.
Bears by 10.
Broncos at Chargers. Broncos, another team. Terrible. There's so many just bad teams.
Yeah.
I think, does anyone else not have Chargers?
Real quick.
Melvin Gordon's back, too.
There's only 2 4:00 games this week, which is kind of crazy.
Yeah, that's weird.
A 4:00 and a 4:25 game. Real quick. If you're the Chargers, and I'm asking both of you right now, Austin Eckler, hot hand right now. Do you just keep giving it to him? Or do you let Melvin Gordon just slide in as a starter?
No, you give it Austin.
I think this is the last week that Eckler keeps that running back one role. I think Melvin Gordon's definitely going to get some touches, get some snaps, get him back into football shape, get him back into the offense, slide him in there. But I think Melvin Gordon's snaps will consistently go up as the season goes on. Shout
out to Bolt God right here. I got a shirt right here. They quiet. Bolt God. Bolt God was the fan of the week for Wilson Football. They were giving out footballs. He got his name on it with Austin Eckler. Austin Eckler was the player of the week, according to Wilson Football. I take the Chargers in this game. They go 3-2. I mean, the Broncos go 0-5. They're done. And maybe they trade Emmanuel Sanders the next week. Who knows? But they're like you said, there's so many bad teams this year. There's just it's just top heavy and just shitty on the bottom.
I am taking the Denver Broncos for the second week in a row. They let me down last week, and they're going to prove me right. This team is back. The defense finally steps up against a weak Chargers team. They hold Eckler and Gordon down, and Elite's quarterback Joe Flacco, former Super Bowl MVP, gets the W on the Chargers' home soccer field.
Last 3 games, we got perhaps the game of the week. You'll probably see CBS's football game of the week or something like that because it's always the Cowboys. Packers and Aaron Rodgers go to the now 3-1 Dallas Cowboys. And this is kind of a must-win for both sides. Each take a loss after being undefeated. You don't want to lose 2 in a row because you're up in the division. Both teams literally identical spots in their division. 2-2 falling right behind them. They get a win. They become 3-2. So this is a huge game. I don't know. I think just based off what I saw against the Saints. Oh, I think I unplugged.
It's like that divisional game a few years ago, 3 years
Can you hear me now?
back.
We've been hearing you.
Yep.
Oh, I
years.
just unplugged my thing came unplugged. All right, I got Cowboys. You can go. My bad. I thought I
It
was
was,
unplugged.
I was going to say, it's like that divisional playoff game 3 years ago when the Packers, Aaron Rodgers and the Pack went down to Jerry's World and found a way to win that game, come from behind. You watched that Eagles-Packers game last week. I think the Packers, that team looked good. Even though it was a touchdown loss, I think the Packers are here, and I think they're going to be a playoff contender this year. I think they're going to go down to Arlington again, same way they did in that playoff run a few years back. And I think Aaron Rodgers and the Pack have Dak's number. They have they understand that team. They know how to win in Dallas. I think the Pack go in there and get a dub by 3.
Was the last time they played each other the Dez did he catch it play? Like
No,
the
that
Dez?
was a long time ago.
I didn't know how often they play each other at Dallas. But, I don't know. I think the Cowboys are just still good. I'm going to keep harping on them, and I don't really like Rodgers, so Cowboys.
So, right here, just a little game fact. I'm reading this off of Yahoo. The Packers have won 7 of their last 8 meetings against the Cowboys in the regular season and postseason.
Wow.
And Green Bay has won its last 3 in Dallas, dating back to 2013. Numbers
And one of those was
lie.
a playoff game.
Numbers never lie, man. So I think that also the Packers should have won that game against the Eagles. Again, that was a little slugfest right there. They have some extra days off. And the Cowboys are coming off, a terrible loss. I mean, against the Saints. I'm taking the Packers, no matter what. I'm just taking the Packers. I'm taking the Packers. It's gonna be an interesting game. It's gonna be a fun game to watch. Yeah. And I'm looking at this game, and I'm like, Babs kind of wants to go to this game. Maybe you'll see me down there on Sunday. Who knows? I just want to see a nice game.
I still can't believe it. Can we talk that the Packers threw on the 2-yard line? Same exact play in Super Bowl 49.
4 in a row.
Yeah.
Same exact result.
We got Colts, Chiefs, Sunday Night Football, big game. Colts, they should be, what are they, 2-2 now?
2-2.
Yeah, 2-2.
Yeah, they should be 3-1. They should be 4-0 if we're really being serious. Chiefs are 4-0. Mahomes, I have no reason to bet against him. And I don't want to like Mahomes because he's a serious threat against the Pats, despite them beating him twice last year. But he is just so fun to watch, dude.
I got one player that's going to make the difference in this game. Brian Hoyer. Whoa, Brian Hoyer. He is the backup on the Indianapolis Colts. Brian Hoyer is one of the reasons why the Patriots were able to get a win over the Chiefs. I am saying this. The Colts go into Kansas City and stun them, and they win this game.
That's a hot take. I got the Chiefs. Yeah. I think the Chiefs stay hot. It's like you're talking about. It's a fun team to watch. You know these guys are special. I think they're poised to make a run, and I think everyone's been talking how they're on a collision course with the Pats for the AFC Championship. I think that run keeps going. At home against the Colts, you gotta take the Chiefs here.
Monday Night Football. How did the Browns get all these primetime games? They had Monday night against the
champion.
Jets. Monday night against the Jets, Sunday night against the Rams, and then this is a good game, granted, because the 49ers are 3-0. Not really sure how legit the 49ers 3-0 is. However, they are 3-0, have not lost this season. Can't take that away from them. Browns looked very good last week. No denying that. Say whatever you want about them. They just straight up played a good football game. I'm going Baker again.
Baker had a chip on his shoulder last week because he got kind of called out on Instagram, and you saw that stuff about him being compared to AB and I don't know, all that bullshit that happened.
Yeah.
But 49ers coming off a bye week right now, and they've had extra time to prep for this game. They might come out a little bit slow. I'm still going to stick with Jimmy G. I mean, I'm actually surprised to see the Niners 3-0 this season after Jimmy G and this team. I feel like he was going to collapse and not be the same guy he was. And I'm rooting for the 49ers this year. I want Brady versus Jimmy Garoppolo. What a Super Bowl that would be, right? But I'm going to pick the 49ers just because they're at home. Monday Night Football. That's it. I mean, Jimmy G with the Browns. I don't know what to say else than that. I mean, I'm stunned in my mind because the Browns played really well against the Ravens last week. Mm-hmm. And they're contenders. They're not pretenders right now. They're there, but I think the 49ers take this game.
I'm going to take the Browns, even though the Niners are coming off a bye week. I think the Browns proved all the doubters wrong last week, especially with everyone saying. I don't know anybody that had the Browns winning the game last week, and they just came out, showed out, and I think they're legit. I think they're going to go on the road to San Francisco and find a way to get a W.
San Fran is 3-0 for the 8th time in franchise history. The Niners have only started 4-0 3 times before, and not since 1990. Little stat there. So Jimmy G can lead this team to 4-0. They might build a statue of him.
Yeah. I've got one more pick for the week. The Dolphins are on the bye week. They're going to find a way to lose this week.
Who else has a bye?
Lions.
Dude, that means I have to start. Oh, I have to start Jimmy Garoppolo. All right, 49ers win. I'm changing my pick. 49ers win by a lot, by like 17. All right, so this is a big football-heavy show. We were going to kind of touch on NBA Media Day, but there's not really much to talk about, so we're going to I think we're going to have Killer Kev on either next week or the week after to preview the Celtics and NBA season. MLB playoffs, we can briefly touch on that. The Nationals beat the Brewers last night on just the worst outfielder play I've ever seen in my life.
Nationals, baby. I'm picking them all the way to the World Series. I told you this is the reason why I'm picking them. They got rid of Bryce Harper. He went to Philly. Didn't make the playoffs. I'm rooting for the Nationals because I'm rooting for those fans. I know what it's like, and I hope they win the World Series.
How do you know what it's like? You've grown up only liking Boston teams.
Because the Pats went 1-2 last year with the tattoo.
And then they won the Super Bowl.
They won the Super Bowl. Okay, last year wasn't the year. You take everything else away from it. They wasn't their year last year, and they had to go on the road and win it.
All right, let's dive into the DMs real quick. We actually got a handful. Our guy Masters Lane 182. How much would someone have to pay GRD to go to a preseason game?
He actually said that he does not do preseason games at all. Like he does not.
Yeah, I hate preseason so much.
Yeah, but I mean, it's not about being paid. If I was offered floor tickets for free, I would go to a preseason game. I mean, it doesn't hurt. Yeah.
I mean, how many times did you tell Prez to ride the wave? GRD's not here. I'm not going to talk about him.
Yeah, move on to the next one.
How many times did you tell Prez to ride the wave from Bruins?
Okay, so when Prez came up to us, all right, you saw that picture of him smiling, and I was kind of smiling from the side and everything like that. Bad angle of me, by the way. Very bitchy. He saw the vest and laughed at it. Then he looked at my face. But more importantly, he looked at the eye black. There's only one lunatic that wears eye black anywhere, and it's me. Like, so he saw that and did a double take and goes, "Oh, ride the wave." Like, he just knows it.
You said that?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So I'm literally, this is behind the scenes look. I do Barstool stuff too, if you're listening to this. They're coming to Penn State in 2 weeks. I'm going to bring you up. I'm going to be like, "Hey, I'm Babs' guy." And he's like, "Babs? I don't know Babs." The moron with the Super Bowl tattoos, the bulletproof vest,
yes, exactly.
Like that stuff, the loudmouth guy.
He'll know who that is.
Exactly. That's huge, dude.
It's not about – so here's my take on everything. He doesn't know me as Brian Babikian. He doesn't know me as Babs. He doesn't even know me as Spike King. He just knows me as the guy with the tattoos that wears eye black that says "Ride the Wave." And here's another example. It's Game 7 of the Stanley Cup, and I walk into Hurricanes. They were doing their little show over there, and I had one of my buddies from work. He's a cop now, and he saw me and starts chanting "Ride the Wave," and then people were chanting "Ride the Wave," and then all of a sudden it started going off, and then I just see Prez look at me and just kind of shake his head because it's just like we have a following. We had that going on, and
speaking of the following, dude. Whoever, if you were listening to this, I mean, I'm assuming you listened to this.
10 people.
Whoever made the Ride the Wave Media fan page today and followed everyone, I don't even care. That's cool. That's like,
I don't know about that. I don't know about that because I had a Spike King fan page, and then that kid was DMing like people acting like it was me, and I was like, fucking shut this down. And that's what I don't want the fan page. That's why I said I don't want a fan page going out there speaking for us because I have no idea who's running that. I'm just saying. But no matter what, Prez.
If you're listening to this and run that account, just DM me and then we'll get that set. Because I'm pro it. I
endorse it.
I kind of want. I'm not. Someone else to do it.
My thing is this. To Prez and Barstool, and I said this on the Part-Time Friends podcast, we're not competing against Barstool. Barstool owns everything. I feel that the void is missing for personalities in Boston. That's what I'm here for. That's what GRD is here for. That's what we got. Bruins Warrior. You got Killer Kev. We have our team, and we're doing things that are making noise. Like we're out there. That's the thing. And let me say something about Prez, and I'm gonna do something negative right here. Prez is national. He pandered to that Bills Mafia crowd. If you saw the shirt he was wearing, the shirt was Bills colors. It was the red and blue, but it was all the wins in Buffalo since 2001. And it obviously was Brady, Bledsoe, whatever. I don't believe Prez was even at that game. I think he was just out in La La Land somewhere.
Yeah, he did. No, he went home after he went to go film a video.
Yeah, he wasn't even there. And I know he's very busy doing these things, but here's the difference is that someone like me, I'll go to every game possible. I will be out there. Same way GRD, he goes to all these Celtics games. So if Prez is listening out there, is one of our listeners out there, I think Ride the Wave and Barstool could do something together in the Boston area in a couple years when they come back here. So
I'll put a little a message in his ear. I'll be like, hey, this is this guy's number. If you want to hit him up.
Because of the 30 people that are associated with us that help us out every single day, I'm looking out for myself. I'm looking out for us because I know that there's potential there. And I mean, I think it's also a great nod that he shared our video that Corey took and tagged Ride the Wave. We're not going to gain crazy followers. We're not going to gain all this, but it's just credibility to show like, damn, these kids are out there. Wearing those bulletproof vests is just something completely different that no one else has done before, that in the Patriots nation that has been done. So he recognizes, he sees the face, he sees that, because here's my thing to everybody else out there. Oh, why do you stick your tongue out all the time? Why do you always wear eye black? Why do you always wear cargos? Why do you always wear LeBrons? Because you know why? You're going to recognize me at games. And also, that's just who I am. And like literally, it's not like I'm forcing myself to dress up like somebody, but that's just literally who I am. Like in my off day, not doing Spike King shit, I'm still wearing cargos. I'm still wearing LeBrons. I might not be wearing eye black. But when you see that, I'm going to stick out. How many people have Prez met over these last couple of years? Thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of people. But when he does the double take and says, Ride the Wave, like he just realizes it, just clicks in his head. Because he's like, I fucking seen this kid so many times, and he will not go away. So,
yeah, man, I'll put in a good word for us all.
You put a good word in here, you will never be in the doghouse ever again.
I like that spot. Hunter B. Swiney, Sweeney, Swine, I don't care.
One of my favorite parts of the week is hearing Tyler butcher people.
Because everybody's names stink. Like Watabe, Babikian.
Miller,
Tyler, Matt,
you gotta get personal.
Why can't you just be Miller?
Yeah, just everyone. Jeez. Why is the Spike King so disrespectful to old/ex Patriots players? Boom, boom, boom. Hit piece.
Okay, so that's probably because over the offseason I unfollowed Trey Flowers, which I thought was funny. Listen, I'm only going to follow X amount of people.
Cares.
I don't think he cares either. I can only follow X amount of people, and I'm not going to follow someone that plays for the Detroit Lions, okay? I don't know what you mean by disrespectful to old players or this and that. If you're not on the Patriots' current roster, I'm not going to follow you on Instagram. And if you go to a different team, I'm not going to care what team you play for. Danny Amendola is playing in Detroit. I don't care that he plays in Detroit. I don't care about you anymore. Cool, what you did in New England doesn't matter to me. So I'm not being disrespectful saying I hope they go fuck themselves and their family dies or something like that. I never say anything like that.
Not until I make that sound clip.
I'm just saying that if you don't play for the team anymore, I just don't care anymore. It is what it is. And once you're retired, and I respect what you did for the New England Patriots. That's it.
See, this is another
what they did in the past. You talk about Amendola and the things he did, carrying that, basically being the only great wide receiver on that 27-18 team that made it to the Super Bowl for the second straight year against the Eagles. But
then he went down to like the Miami, and then he went to Detroit. Like, do I care that you play Miami and Detroit? Do I want to go on my Instagram and just see pictures? Of you? Like, I don't care. Like, I just don't care anymore. Sorry,
we'll dwell on the past. We won't.
And guess what? None of these players care about me either, so it doesn't even matter.
Got a lot of. Did you fight any Bills fans? Did you see any arguments with the Bills fans? How were you greeted by Bills Mafia?
Again, I said,
was Bills Mafia crazy for you? All that stuff.
Bills Mafia was really nice to us. I mean, we had a couple people talking shit, about the vests and this and that. But again, me and Corey are great at just talking to people. Like, we're not there to fight anybody. It's a football game. Who gives a shit? I will say this though. I wore the vest. I had those gloves. I don't know if you saw those gloves. They were like $10 at the Army Barracks store. They're like, I guess they're shooter gloves. I didn't wear them going in. I put them in my pockets, because I knew security was going to give me a hard time. So I was there the entire game. At the end of the game, if you saw our picture, it was me, T-Guns, and GRD. We were holding up the victory flag with the screen in the background. The sheriff officer said, can I see those gloves? And he was just checking them. And he goes, we were eyeing you the entire game. We were watching you because we saw the bulletproof vests, we saw the gloves, and we felt like you were going to do something crazy. And also, when we were walking around the concourse, someone stopped me and GRD and patted us down because they were like, we need to pat your vest down to make sure, like, it isn't anything serious. So, it was interesting to do that for that game. I'm gonna do it again in Philly. Like I'm gonna wear that down in Philly again. So I don't know.
Why aren't you Sergeant Spike King? That just has so much better alliteration to it. Like, Lieutenant Spike King, like, let's think of the branding, dude. Sergeant Spike King and like General GRD. That'll make so much more sense.
No, the general is Tom Brady. That's why I did that. General Tom Brady, Lieutenant Spike King, and Sergeant GRD.
You gotta go alliteration on that, man. Anyways, speaking of tough names, I have another one to pronounce that I have no idea how this is gonna sound. Nick Burgoyne, Burgoyne. Who's the passing new kicker? I don't know, dude. I'm not part of it up there. I don't even know any kickers if you're not Steven Gostowski.
Young Ho Koo. He's coming to Foxborough.
What's that girl's name? Carrie Lloyd?
Oh, yeah, Carly Lloyd.
Cody Parkey.
Oh.
Yeah, buddy. I could kick better. We'll do... last one. This is a good one. Tim_Mac_. See? Simple. 3 letters apiece. In and out. What do you guys think about Brock Holt's goodbye message to the fans of Red Sox? Is he gone? I mean, I would just bring him back as a fan favorite. I don't even care. Like I said, there's no cap space in the MLB. There's salary cap and all that, like luxury tax and all that stuff. But you can sign anyone. Why not sign a guy, only person in the MLB to hit a cycle? Raise a ton of money for the Jimmy Fund and the childhood cancer stuff. Has a huge impact in Boston. People love him, literally love him. It is not like he's a scrub. He's a perfect utility player. Don't expect too much out of him, and he gets the job done.
Glad we got a Red Sox topic. This guy loves Boston. You look at the offseason and where he spent his time over this last after the Red Sox won the World Series. He didn't go to some house in California or Florida. He stayed in Boston with his family and is raising his family in Boston so that he said in an interview that he wanted to see what shoveling snow was like. I think Brock Holt is an addition the Red Sox would love to keep around. We just don't know if they're going to have enough money for it. If JD and Mookie end up being out of Boston, like the worst thing that could possibly happen is both those guys are gone and we end up signing Brock Holt. We'll have the money to spend if both those guys are gone. But there's going to be a lot of teams fighting for Brock Holt's talents. It's just whether he'll take that hometown discount if he likes Boston enough.
I hope he stays.
I hope he stays so much.
Any final thoughts before we wrap this up?
I mean, October is going to be an absolute crazy month for Ride the Wave. Mm-hmm. If you look at some of our upcoming things, we have Dito out in Washington this upcoming Sunday. Babs is looking at some schedules right now, and when I get off of this, I might be doing something crazy this weekend myself. Then we have the Thursday night game with the Giants. We have the opening Bruins game that we're going to be at as well, too, on the 12th. We have so this is actually nuts. In mid-October, a couple weeks, Monday Night Football against the Jets. 2 days later, myself, T-Guns, Matt Gordon, GRD, we're going to be in Philadelphia for the Sixers-Celtics first game of the season. Mm-hmm. 2 days after that, Celtics home opener in Boston. 2 days after that, Cleveland Browns and Patriots. So October is going to be kind of a crazy month for Ride the Wave. We just got to keep doing what we're doing and see what happens. But Brendan, I thank you for coming on for a second straight week and being part of the big 3. You've definitely stepped up in the role.
Thank you. October's definitely going to be a fun month for us. I even get to go to a Bruins game before you guys get them in Boston. They're visiting their West Coast road trip right now, so they're going to be in Phoenix on Saturday, and I'll be in attendance. Got to see my Bees run it back and actually hoist the cup this year. But October's going to be a lot of fun. Stay tuned to MLB's Hot Corner. We got a lot of fun postseason content coming out, and we'll start eliminating the guys as their picks are wrong. But Babs is right so far with the Nationals. He's rolling with them.
If the Nationals
I put Astros.
If the Nationals go to the World Series, I will go to one of those games. I will be down there in DC.
Yeah, right. You were not going to spend over $1,000 for a game that you fake care about the Nationals. You don't care about the Nationals.
I don't need to spend $1,000 to go into a game. You don't understand what GRT and the Spike King do. We don't go to these games and just shell tons of money. We have our ways in there. We have our ways that we get in there. Hey, I have actually a hot take for you before we end this. Do you think that Prez is like suspended to go to any game in the NFL? Because it actually made me think that because he got kicked out of the Super Bowl, do you think the NFL banned? But I'm saying this: if Prez really wanted to go to that Bills game, do you think they would have kicked him out? Do you think the NFL has something against him?
I don't think you can kick someone out of it. Like, you can't kick them out of a stadium. They never did anything.
Yeah,
it's like a restraining order against every stadium.
But this is what thought of this, because the guys who threw the dildos a couple years ago.
Was there any on the field?
But listen, the guys who threw the dildos out on the field a couple years ago, I was talking to Bills Mafia about this, and they got a letter from the NFL banning them for life to go to any Bills games or any games in the NFL. And they showed me that. But they still go to the Bills games because they're just two little kids that like no one really knows who they are. Like they're not going to know their faces and stuff, whereas Prez is more of a celebrity. So it made me think with him doing the whole Goodell towel thing, do you think that Prez can – because you never see Prez going to any other game other than the Super Bowl. I'm just saying. Just saying.
Maybe. I know he does all this college football stuff. He's not going to the games. He leaves. So normally I think his move is get content, just bounce it, watch it on TV. Anyways, thank you for listening to episode 15. That's a question that the listeners can answer. Episode 15, Boston's Big Three. Thank you for listening. GRD, we'll see you later, pal. Brandon, I already forgot how to say it. It's not Watabe, it's Watabe.
Watabe.
I've said your name wrong since the day I know you. Anyways, we'll see you guys next week, and maybe Bruins Warrior on for a little, maybe at Lane on for a little Bruins preview. And the week after that, maybe Killer Cow for the Celtics. Stay tuned. Tell your friends. Peace.